A brand new open-source AI model just landed, and it's shaking up the entire AI world. It's called Minimax M1, and what it brings to the table isn't just impressive, it's unbelievable. With a massive 1 million token memory, the ability to generate up to 80,000 tokens in a single response, and performance levels rivaling the biggest tech giants, this AI changes everything. And here's the kicker: it's free, open, and unrestricted. So what makes Minimax M1 so special? Let's break it down in simple terms. Most AI models today can only remember a short chunk of what you give them, maybe a few pages of text. But M1 can remember an entire book series in one go. That's thanks to its 1 million token input window, much more than any other open model today, and far beyond what most commercial models offer. Just for perspective, if you took all the Harry Potter books and fed them into M1 at once, it could understand and remember the whole thing, and still have room left over to write a detailed reply. To compare with popular models like GPT-4 can handle about 1/8 of that memory. Others like Claude or DeepSeek offer large capacities, but nothing quite on this scale. Even Google's top-tier models, while competitive, don't allow such long replies. Minimax M1 stands almost alone when it comes to juggling this much information. Normally, handling this much memory would make a model slow, expensive, or nearly impossible to train. But Minimax got around those problems using a smart mix of techniques. First, it uses something called a mixture of experts. Think of it as a group of smaller brains working together. The model has 32 of these subbrains, but only a few are used at a time. That keeps it fast and efficient without giving up power. Second, they built a new kind of attention mechanism called lightning attention. Traditional models need to look at every word one by one, which gets slower as the input gets longer. But lightning attention changes the math so the model stays fast, even with giant prompts. Thanks to these tricks, M1 is not just powerful, it's incredibly efficient. It uses less computing power than many smaller models, especially for long responses. In fact, when generating really long answers, M1 can run at a quarter of the cost compared to some other open models. Now, here's where it gets even more surprising. Training this model cost only about $500,000. That's pocket change compared to the tens of millions other companies spend. And it was trained in just a few weeks using high-end graphics cards. So not only is M1 bigger and better, but it's also cheaper and faster to make. That's a huge leap forward for OpenAI development. But power alone doesn't make a great model. How well does M1 actually perform? Let's talk results. On tough math exams and logic puzzles, M1 scores incredibly well. It nearly matches or even beats many older commercial models. On programming tasks, it handles everything from competitive coding challenges to full project debugging. It even reads bug reports, finds the broken code, writes a fix, and tests the result, just like a real software engineer. Its training included a mix of STEM-heavy content, math problems, science questions, and long reasoning chains. Minimax didn't just feed it random data. They carefully curated the content to teach the model how to think step by step. They also used new training techniques that encourage creativity instead of cutting it off. Most models use a safety method that avoids unstable training, but often at the cost of originality. Minimax flipped the script by keeping all the interesting, rare tokens involved. That makes the model better at handling those wait-a-minute moments when the right answer takes a bit of thought. M1 also handles real-world instructions and assistant-style conversations very well. It can write code, answer questions, fix bugs, and help with research, all in the same session. And when it comes to extremely long inputs, like documents with hundreds of pages, it's one of the only models that can truly handle them without losing track. Now, to be fair, it's not perfect. On some benchmarks, it still trails behind top-tier models from big tech companies. In reasoning under tough restrictions or simple question answering, there's room to improve. But in most other areas, especially tasks that involve long-term memory or complex logic, M1 is right up there with the best. And remember, this is a free, open-source model that anyone can run on their own machines. For developers and researchers, that's a dream come true. You don't need to rely on cloud access, expensive APIs, or limited accounts. You can download the model, run it locally, and build anything you want. Even tools with voice, images, and video generation, all with no strings attached. The model even supports structured function calling, voice cloning, text-to-speech, and more, making it ideal for building smart assistants, bots, or agents that can actually take action in the world. And because the license is so open, even companies with strict data policies can use it fully on their own servers. What makes M1 even more exciting is the philosophy behind it. Instead of just making models bigger, Minimax focused on making them think better, stretching the model's ability to reason over longer time frames without blowing up computing costs. That's the real bet they're making. If you let the model think out loud for longer and do it efficiently, you get better answers, not just more data. This could be the beginning of a new direction in AI development, one where models get smarter not just by adding more parameters, but by training them in smarter ways, letting them reason longer, and making them accessible to everyone, not just a few big companies. So, is Minimax M1 the future of OpenAI? Maybe. It certainly points in that direction: smarter design, efficient training, and maximum freedom. One thing's for sure, it just raised the wager for what open source models can do, and the whole industry is watching. Please, write your questions and comments down in the details section of the video, then like and subscribe to not miss any AI news videos. Then watch the next AI-related video that will appear in front of you soon. See you over there.